I thought you didn't go to Nevermore.
I didn't. Your dad got all the brains. But I used to drop in on him, usually from the ceiling with the dagger clutched between my teeth just to keep him on his toes.
Of course.
He filled me in on what's been going on. Monsters, murder, mayhem. What fun.
Welcome back to Late Night. We're here with Fred Armisen, everybody. That was a clip from Wednesday, currently streaming on Netflix. What a cool project, directed by Tim Burton.
Can't believe it.
Yeah.
Can't believe I got to do it. As soon as they asked me to do it, first thing I remember offering was like, I will shave my head to do this. And I did. I really wanted to like get
Usually,
into it.
because sometimes when you say, I'll shave my head, they'll say, oh, don't be ridiculous, we'll just put on a bald cap.
Yeah, but you know those things take forever.
It is, you actually, as an actor, it's almost, if you're willing to shave your head, you save so much time.
Absolutely. And it always looks kind of weird. Like
Yeah.
you can always kind of tell. No disrespect to makeup artists around the world.
Yeah.
You're all so talented.
So you shaved your head, and Uncle Fester, this is, an iconic role. How do you approach Uncle Fester? What's your take on it?
I really, there was kind of like an SNL thing to it where I did remember the TV show and I just tried to do it like I was doing the original TV show. Just to, it's almost like representing like the original character.
It's really fun.
Yeah, and Tim Burton was great. He's like, I don't know how you picture him, but I thought he'd be like a little bit sort of like quiet, but he's kind of like a pretty tough, confident guy. He's not a New Yorker, but he seems like a New Yorker.
That's so funny. Yeah, I think of him way differently. That he would be sort of like quirky and like would give your notes through like a little cupboard door.
That's exactly what I mean. Yeah.
One of the other things I want to talk to you about, because documentary now, we just had another season, our 4th season of a very unique and special show. And it was sort of inspired by this sketch you and I wrote together where you played Ian Rubbish, a punk rocker from the 70s.
Yeah.
The only punk rocker who liked Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
And it's a sketch I'm really proud of. And one of the things about working with you was always, especially when it was music stuff, is you would be incredibly specific about the music. If it was punk songs from the 70s, you tried to write great punk songs, and they are still catchy, and I still love listening to them today. The other thing is you can do a really good British accent, and I feel like watching a bad one.
That's nice. That's nice of you to say. I do like doing it. And I want to add one thing. Seth wrote the lyrics to those Ian Rubbish songs. So he's like
we're a very good match.
Honorary punk.
Honorary punk. You've also made an observation to me before about how, because I think it happens more this way than the other.
Yes.
British actors playing Americans.
Yeah, so sometimes when you watch something, you can tell that it's like a British person, because it's like a non-specific accent, them doing an American accent, and like they try to toughen it up a little bit. Hey, I'm gonna read the newspaper. I'm gonna try to smoke a cigarette. Come on, get out of here. But you could tell it's like not specific enough to be truly, no disrespect to British actors, they all do great.
I wanna ask one more thing, because obviously this is a trio that we know from the Californians, you, Bill, Wig.
Yeah.
However, there's an unseen sketch that the same three of you did called The Australians.
Yes.
That didn't ever go to Dress?
It did go to Dress twice.
It went to Dress twice. A different concept, but explain The Australians real quick.
So this is a sketch you've never seen, but all it was just me, Bill, and Kristen as Australians packing to go on a trip. So we've got a big suitcase open, and we're just like, gotta throw a boomerang in there, and we just list Australian things. David A. of Muriel's wedding, all right. And that's all it is. We just like list these Australian things, and at the end of it, the credits go downwards, like sort of opposite.
So the way the toilets flush backward in Australia,
the credits
go the opposite way.
And and that was the whole sketch, was just us listening. Rain gear, throw some rain gear in there. And that was it.
My recollection of it was very patently clear about halfway through the sketch that it was not going well. And then the three of you would just start enjoying it even more.
Even more.
Because I would say, as a trio goes in my history of the show, the three of you had a sort of affection for each other, and so you really were having just as much fun when things were going badly.
Yeah, and it was a nice, simple sketch, but yeah, you can really feel, and this is something you pointed out, sometimes you blame the audience. You're like, they're just really quiet tonight, but then later in the night, you'll hear them laugh at someone else's sketch, and you're like, oh, they're here.
Yeah. Oh, they were just making a value judgment on me.
That was like specific.
Nothing's worse than when you walk off after done and you see like people going out for their sketch and you're like, oh, best of luck.
Yeah,
Being real quiet. And then like.
This was one of those, yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for sticking around. I love you very much. You guys, that's
Love
Fred
you too.
Armisen. Wednesday, currently streaming on Netflix. We'll be right back.